Hi, I'm Brett Robin Wood, and I write songs that delve into this extraordinary human journey that we're all on. And I wonder how your human journey's going as I bounce off satellites into your screen today. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, for supporting the channel. What I'm aiming for here is to create song and conversation that can be restorative and stimulating, nourishing. Things don't always go to plan, yet plan we must. Find your lodestar, set off in trust. You built a boat of driftwood and you travel on the tide between the oceans of adventure and the island where you hide. You're looking for a new land, you hope to prevail. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sail. There's always a way. The rigging in your sails murmur through the night. Stars flicker in the corner of your eye, and the moon up ahead, it glimmers with light. And you think on where you've traveled and where you might. You're looking for a new land beyond the earth's curve, where it's finally clear the who and what to serve. And there's always a way. The mountainous waves, they throw you around. They lift you to the sky and they slam you back down. And it's a 1 part control to 9 parts allow, as you sail into your future through the here and now. You're looking for a new land, you always felt there was more. And at the crest of each wave, you see the new shore. And there's always a way. You got a full-bellied sail, pregnant and true, and you can see up ahead under a sky so blue. A strange definition comes into view, a solid answer to the call of the new. Oh, there's a new land before you, and also within. And here at the journey's end, a new one begins. And there's always, say, hey, always, 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 always a way. It's one of my new songs, There's Always a Way. I started experimenting that with on the ukulele with some tiny songs that I recorded by the sea. They're all on Instagram, details below. Check them out. They're quite fun. And it sort of morphed into this entire song that you've just heard there. And life is a journey. Things don't always go to plan, yet plan we must. Find your lodestar, set off in trust. What's your lodestar? Lodestar is back in the olden days, the sailors would use them before sat-navs. The lodestar. I'm not up on old seafaring navigation, but I believe it's a way to navigate and find your way, so a great metaphor. I don't know. What do you orientate to? What ways of being? And what's the new land? You're looking for a new land. You're looking for a new land. You hope to prevail. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sail. I really like that line. I saw that on a poster in a seaside cafe. A little framed poster. Oh, that's great. Because I used to sail as a kid. You know, when that wind's coming at you, you can't sail right into it. But you've got a surprising amount of scope to work with. You can put it behind you and blow you forward, or you can actually turn quite far up into the wind and set the sails so that the wind coming sort of toward you creates a pressure around the sails, comes around the sails and basically squeezes the boat forward, much like an aeroplane wing. So yeah, in life there's so much out of our control, but man, isn't it extraordinary, our capacity to make choices? Not just over our action, but make choices about how we think about a situation and how we view it. And of course, how we view it and explain it to ourselves plays a huge part in the kinds of choices we might make. And new ways of seeing opens up new pathways of action that we maybe wouldn't see before if we were stuck in the old ways of seeing. And this is why I just love the curiosity of the human mind, to be able to explore, find constructive and creative ways to view the world and to think about life. As we hit the high seas, the mountainous waves that throw us around, lift us up. You know those great days where it's all working? Whew, they slam you down. Boom. I did a whole bunch of videos earlier, then I lost them all. Technical glitch. Boom, gone. Bam. Crushing. And it's a stormy sea sometimes, isn't it? I'm being playful here, but I also recognize that sometimes those waters we go into, we're way out of our depth. And sometimes we just end up ripped apart on the reef, and man, life can throw us some real hurricanes, right? And this line in the song, there's always a way. There's always I've lost my key now, I put down my guitar, but always, there's always a way. Always a way. There's a belief for you, huh? How's that for a belief? There's always a way. Man. I'm not generally one to put forward such emphatic statements like that. I am a part of the success industry that wants to help people make progress on what matters and live meaningful, productive lives. But I know there's a temptation in this industry to focus on the can-do, believe it, you can do it. And I shy away from that a bit, because I know that there's a bigger picture of life, and I think there's a destiny and a complexity that I think there's a real hazard in getting too caught up in believing in our own agency. And maybe sometimes I shy away from it too much, and I wrote that song to challenge myself to just be a bit more unequivocal, go, there's always a way. And what I find is that, sure, there's plenty of examples in life where the way that I'd hoped and wanted just didn't come about. Right? There didn't seem to be a way. But I think the outlook on life that says there's always a way, no, always, not just sometimes, there's always a way. I think there's something powerful about that outlook. It challenges me to not give up too easily. And so even if I have my doubts about the path I'm on, sometimes I'll say, okay, well, what if it's true that there's always a way? Let me just assume that's true for now. I'm going to assume that's true. All right, well, what haven't I tried? Where haven't I looked? What is the way? What might the way look like today? Might not be what I first expect or think. Sometimes the way involves letting go, giving up, and handing the problem over to the marvelous unconscious mind, or maybe the way involves seeking help. What's your way today? How's the path unfolding for you? Are you in the flow? Are you hitting some walls? And what's the new land that you're looking for? Maybe you found your new land. It's possible that you might be bathing in the sun of the shore of the new land that you found. It's a beautiful feeling, isn't it? In many ways, I look around me and go, wow, this is a new land, the life I have now. I think back decades to how far away I was from this, and the effort I put in and the luck that I had, and perhaps a bit of good old circumstantial fortune, and the time I was born into, and the body I was born into, and the privileges I was open to. But yeah, the hard work, the effort, the thought. What an extraordinary life, eh? To be able to conceive of things and then, hop in the boat. Between the oceans of adventure and the island where you hide. Yeah, I feel that push-pull of the tides of my own fears and insecurities and doubts and laziness and littleness, pulling me back to the island where it's all safe. And then the other tidal force that draws me out. And I guess the aim is to get beyond the tides, isn't it? Out into the open ocean, sail out. Reminds me of that other great quote. If you want to find new lands, you have to let go of the shore. So I wonder where you are in your journey. There's a few musings for you. I hope that you've enjoyed them, and if you have, please consider pressing the like button and sharing this with people who might enjoy a bit of song-smithery and delving into what it is to be human and how we live in the world and how we might. Well, happy adventure. Till next time. Bye.